Welcome back. For over 3 decades, the New York Small Business Development Center has delivered private business advisory services, training, and business research to small business owners and aspiring entrepreneurs in New York. Regional Director for the Bronx SBDC, Vanessa Joseph, joins me to discuss this effort and how it'll impact Bronx business owners. Vanessa, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having us.
Now, can you tell me a little bit more just about the New York SBDC and its primary services that they offer?
Sure. Great question. So I want to start off by saying earlier this year, we celebrated 40 years as an organization.
Wow.
So that is 40 years of us working with businesses, with our stakeholders, government, to provide assistance and resources to businesses. So, jumping into that, our primary services really, it spans a wide range, but it falls under three main umbrellas. And that's our no-cost one-on-one business counseling, our trainings, and our research that we offer to businesses. And businesses, whatever stage they're in, can reach out to us from pre-venture to mature or in the growth stage for assistance.
Now, how does the organization kind of leverage and use its partnerships to kind of support small businesses that they're serving in New York City?
Yeah, so we tap into, many of our, stakeholders and our partners to leverage this. And, starting with the Small Business Administration, we are a federally funded program powered by the SBA, and it's through their resources that we can tap into, where we work with other key partners like SCORE and Veterans Business Outreach Centers and the Women's Business Centers, organizations as such, and along with all of the resources under the SBA's umbrella. So that's like key for us. And then we partner with State University of New York, SUNY, to administer our program through the Research Foundation. And we are housed on campuses around New York. So currently we have 20 centers that businesses can go to for services. So that is critical for us. And then you talk about extended partnerships like with our financial institutions, our CDFIs, our tech incubators, and so many more that we can utilize their resources to even provide more to our businesses.
Now, when entrepreneurs go in for, this expertise, what are some of the things that, they'll experience, and what kind of advice are they given?
So for one, it's an intimate experience, and that is under our one-on-one counseling with our business advisors who are experts at what they do. But, you don't have to know everything, and that's the message we want to share with our businesses, right? There are resources out there like us to help support you along your entrepreneurial journey. So don't worry about what you don't know. Your first step is connecting with us. And we want our businesses to reach out to us from, the time you even have a thought or an idea that maybe I might want to explore entrepreneurship, because it's at this stage that is critical, where you need the most support and the most advising in order to develop your business plan and move it forward.
And I think it's so important that you mention that, because a lot of people have amazing ideas, but they get intimidated,
Yes.
and they think about what they don't know, and it kind of stops them from, pursuing that further. So I'm so glad that you mentioned that it's okay if you don't know everything. Organizations like yours are there to help. So thank you so much for, talking about that. Now, I definitely also want to talk about how the organization provides women, veterans, and individuals with special needs, and just minority entrepreneurs with support as well. Can you tell me a little bit more about how you kind of tailor your services to meet those from underrepresented communities?
Yeah, so, underrepresented communities is huge for us, right? Because we want to get these resources and information and trainings out there to them. So when you think, for example, the special needs, just last year and continuing for this year and next year, one of our partner campuses, right, the Farmingdale State University, was awarded a grant from the New York State Center for Disability Entrepreneurs. And with that grant, they partnered with 10 other SBDC locations to provide trainings to the disability community. And that is huge, right? And we started off the series from the first training that focusing on is entrepreneurship for you? Because that's really the biggest question, not just only with underrepresented communities, but also with all business owners in general. Is it for you? Because there's a lot of work involved in owning and operating a business, and it's no easy task. So I don't want to undersell that at all, but that's one of the ways we were able to bring these trainings to the special, individuals with special needs, and it's been successful thus far.
And can you, just hearing this, I just like to know, maybe one, what are some of the challenges that some of the people in these communities face? But, what are some success stories that you've seen in ways that, this work has been able to help them?
Yeah, so one is access to resources. Another is being intimidated as well to start, a feat is starting and running a business, and the capabilities that are needed for this. So those are the challenges we help them overcome. And by no means I want it to be made as if we do this great work on our own. It is a combination of other resources and partners as well that work with us to achieve these results for our special needs community, right? So this, we want to always encourage them to step forth, because there's a lot of successful businesses that have been started by, the disability community, and they are thriving and growing, and more it's being added every day.
Now, can you tell me a little bit more about the research network, the New York SDBC Research Network?
Yeah, so the SBDC Research Network, we want to think of that as a library of resources, and it has its own librarians, and they support the network throughout New York State. So when it comes to gathering information on industries, financial norms, economic data, even as simple as sourcing a business plan that's similar to the business that you want to operate in, we tap into our research network to assist us with this. Advisors do a lot of research on their own, but for that more in-depth to pull figures and data, this is where the research network comes in, and we could not do what we do without their assistance.
Now, how does the organization integrate feedback from clients and make sure, as we mentioned, celebrating over 40 years, how do you evolve and kind of change so that you do meet the needs of, the changing clientele?
There's an old saying, and I did not make it up, feedback is a gift, and it truly is. Because as an organization, as a federally funded program, that is our gift from our clients, because they're the ones that deal day to day, in the business streets, like I like to say, right, Main Street. And they let us know what their needs are. And this allows us now to advocate on behalf of businesses, whether it's with legislators, local government, or even other partnering agencies, to be able to implement new programs and trainings that support these businesses in their growth.
Now, how does the New York SDBC collaborate with other state economic development agencies and private sectors to maximize support for small businesses?
Yeah, so the collaboration runs a gamut. Whether it is we're working with ESDs and other agencies to bring these initiatives to, small businesses, and that is critical. And I cannot keep reiterating that to our success. Because it's through their extended resources we are supported. It is, for instance, yesterday it was announced by the governor that there's a new program that focuses on certifications for this, and it's going to be and excuse my Spanish if I get this incorrect, but respuesta rapida, right? So where for Hispanic Heritage Month, the Hispanic community can, really get their applications expedited within 90 days. And that is going to have a huge impact. So it started from yesterday on the 16th, and it's going to run through October the 31st. So we're looking to work with our Hispanic small business owners to assist them in getting certified through that program.
And speaking of, just very quickly, if you could tell us, how has it been impacting, business owners here in the Bronx? I know in the Bronx we often do struggle with so many things, and I know that owning a business is very hard. So how has this been able to kind of positively impact Bronx business owners?
Well, I can start off by saying just for this fiscal year alone, the Bronx Center has assisted over 600 clients that are an incorporation of new and existing businesses. Now, when you think about that number, 600 businesses that potentially started or was able to stay in business or grow their business. Now that is a huge success in itself. And then we add things like the economic impact of that, right? The dollars staying within the community, spending in the community and regenerated around, our lifestyles. I think that does such a great service for the Bronx and the community when it comes to economic development.
Well, with that being said, I want to thank you so much for joining us. Just sharing the work that your organization is doing to help New York City as a whole, but of course, to help, business owners like we've seen around our community right here in the Bronx. So with that, I want to thank you so much.
Thank you for having us, and we will come back anytime to keep updating you.
Of course. Thank you. To learn more about the New York Small Business Development Center, please go to the website at nysbdc.org. We have to take a quick break. We'll be back with more Open right after this.